Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. What you see there is an A5 full year Hobonichi cousin in the hardcover, and I'm cutting it down. Now, this is not a 2025, it is a 2024 that I dated at the beginning of this year, and I get impatient. Like when I want to try something or do something or whatever, I get impatient. I start cutting stuff down. So, I wanted something to take with me that had a monthly, daily, weekly on our trip that we're leaving to tomorrow for a couple days. And so I was like, I'm cutting this down, but I knew I needed to do it in stages first. So I used the B6 as a cutting guide to cut it down. I'm not going to sit here and tell you it wasn't a pain in the ass. It was, but I don't know. For me, when I get to doing something, I do it and I see all the way through. And if by the time I'm doing something I'm not going to like it, I pivot. That's just my word, I guess I should say, is pivot. I'm using a metal ruler and a dollar Daiso cutting. What is this? What is it called? Box cutter. Now, I definitely would not suggest you try this unless you really don't care about the cousin that you have. I suggest you try it if you've already cut down a few things and you're just like, whatever. That's just like why I buy cousins outdated. Why I buy anything outdated is to just use it in an undated capacity for whenever the feeling strikes. Now, I am not a dated plein air gal, and that's my concern when I do get the B6 sterling ink. I probably will cut that down to a B6 slim, to be quite honest. But this came to be like a happy accident in a way, because when I was first cutting down right there, it was fine. It was the B6. The biggest mistake that I ever make is lifting my hand and moving it about right there. No, you should not. You, Monique, know that. But I don't know. Again, I get impatient. I start cutting shit. I start pulling shit off. And that's what I did. This ended up being an A6-ish size. I thought it was going to be like more so of a personal, which later on you will see me put it in like a personal TN. I also tried to put it, I think, I'm not sure if I filmed it, but in a B6 Slim. It was just way too short, and I think it's because I had to pivot and cut more off because of what I did and moved my hand off of my cutting area, and that just led to even more, like right there when I'm cutting it, I'm not cutting it in the straight line that was on the opposite side. It's like it's just basically jacked up once you move your hand. So yeah, but I like it because it's portable and it has a monthly, daily, weekly. I really always cut my B5s down to, I've cut it down to a standard, a B6, a B6 Slim, and now an A6. Now, are these the exact A6 dimensions? I don't know, but I do know it fits an A6 TN from Print Pression. So see, as you could see right there, I cut it. So I was like, fuck, I'm gonna have to cut it shorter now. So I did that, and it was actually like a happy accident. I get very overwhelmed with all of the writing at the bottom, and like, I don't know, sometimes I which is why I like B6 Slim. Lately I've been liking the week size, but this full year, yeah, is it perfect? No, but none of my cuts are ever perfect, and I don't really care about that. So it was definitely something fun to do this afternoon. As you could see, I told you I like just rip it and shit. And I'm like, oh, at this point we need that completely fixed. So I do go about and I fix it, and then I notice there like, oh shit, it's not even a B6 anymore. So I do cut the sides and I do all that. So I was like, at this point, I was like, well, I might as well cut it down to a B6 Slim size. And when I was cutting, I opened the book, and because I wanted to make sure I cut the Sunday off correctly and there was no red line. I really hate when I do a standard size or B6 slim size, that red line, that Sunday has to go. So that means I'm having a stacked week, which I really don't care about. I was talking to a friend and then she was like, no, Monique, my brain will not let me do this. And I was like, totally get it. I totally get this is not for people that really do need it to look as it's came or as it's bought. It's just that I love to do planner projects. I love to do things that are outside the box, and I like to do things that nobody has or I'm not seeing a lot of. So, and I just like to do things that are for me and work for me. If I want it to fit in a certain cover, I'm cutting that book down to a certain cover to fit a certain cover. So right there, I got a really clean cut on the edge, except for that few things. But I mean, yeah, it didn't really damage the spine. The spine is kind of like, I don't know. I feel like a full year is always up for debate on how the spine would work, but Hobonichi is a wonderful product, and the way they make their books is just amazing. How they can be just completely filled and huge. I will never ever compare a Hobonichi product to any other product out there. There's just none. There's none that can compare. So yeah, that is the size that I have here. Later, you're going to see me put it in some covers right here. I do also get all of the months off and put them back on to the cover because I was like, hell no, I'm going to use these tabs that I used and made. So I put those all back, and then you'll see me put them in some covers, and that's it. But I think that if a certain book, a certain planner, a certain journal, a certain whatever is like, oh, I really wish they had it in this size, I would definitely challenge you to cut it down. And some people would be like, Monique, I can't cut notebooks. Girl, if you go way back into my archives, I never started cutting books until about 4 or 5 years ago. So, and it was all because it was kind of like the pandemic, and I did not want to wait to go to Staples or any of those places. And plus, I didn't want to go where there was people or germs. So trust me, I'm a person that needs it right now. I'm not trying to wait, which is why I'm having problems with the sterling ink. I knew when I ordered that, I was like, I don't want to order this because it's going to take forever. And I hate waiting. Oh, get your ass in. Let's ride. Okay, sorry. So I put the week there, put the day there, and now I could take this cute little thing with me with my companion as far as my monthly book. So you will see me put some footage in here of some covers that I try, but I need to clean up this mess because, oh my gosh, all of the paper is everywhere. I need a vacuum. But I don't know. This was so fun. It was so needed. I had got off the treadmill or my walking pad for like 20 minutes, and I just had the bright idea, cut down your hardcover. So I don't know. I like that I can repurpose and use stuff and pivot if it's not working. And in the A5, it wasn't working. It wasn't working for me. So I brought it down to a really, really smaller size. So yeah, if you have any questions, definitely let me know. But again, this is an A5 Hobonichi Cousin in the hardcover. It was when I bought it last year for like $30. Right now they're on sale. So if I were you, go buy them. Go buy them so you can play and tinker. That's a B6 slim size, that cover. And as you could see, I was like, oh, wow, there's a whole bunch of space. So that's why I was like, okay, this is going to fit more so in A6. So I started just like finding covers that were around me. That's a personal size. And a TN, it's a chic sparrow. So I thought, oh man, this one would work. And I put in the strings, and it semi-did, but the cover is too floppy. I didn't like the cover. It was so floppy, and I didn't like that. But it definitely would have been a good, it would have worked just fine. That's why you see A6 and personal size being kind of transferable in some ways, because of the size differences. It's not like a huge size difference as far as width or length. So yeah, I will show you the end what I used. It's an A6 print impression. It's the one I had my spiral in, and Yeah, I like it. I like it. I'm going to go sit down on the couch and play and use my stickers and write and do all the things. But I definitely had to film this for you guys because anything that I do planner related must be filmed. All right. So thank you so much for watching. God bless you. And I hope you have a really good Sunday and you are planning and writing and journaling and doing all the things that you need to be doing. Okay. Take care.